Ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear my voice, then I'd like to say thank you for stopping by. We've missed you. As the great John Lennon would say, life is what happens when you're making plans, and we're no strangers to that. But while Megan was writing the chorus to her newfound country song style of living, the fire within the Pittsburgh music scene only burned brighter. And we just can't stay away from a good time too long. Welcome back, Fire Pit, your favorite Pittsburgh music podcast. New episodes coming May 26th. Catch us on your favorite streaming platforms and on our YouTube channel. Scarfire Media, LLC, the voice of the independent arts. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you can hear my voice and if you can see my face, then that means we are back together once again for another episode of Fire Pit. I know it feels like it has been an eternity since I have been able to say that out loud. And if you didn't notice, Scarfire Media LLC is looking a little different these days, but that is no problem at all because we are here to have a great time, to reconnect with the Pittsburgh music scene, and to meet some really incredible people. So with me, as always, is my best friend, Jim Skiff. Jim, how you doing, baby? I've missed you so much.
I missed you too, Megan. It's great to be back. And we have a wonderful guest in the studio with us this evening. David Dickinson is a Pittsburgh singer-songwriter who I first heard at a Club Cafe open mic. I want to say like 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. And I was very impressed with his tremendous musicality, introspective and confessional lyrics, his virtuoso guitar playing, and general vibe. Recently, he stopped by Antonio's open mic with Autumn Avery in tow, and those two blew me away again with this serendipitous pairing of voices and sensibilities. And David told me he was working on an album which was going to be released very soon. Happy day. That day has arrived. That album has been released. It's out there on all your streaming services. Disorganized Attachment Styles showcases the depth, the humor, and the insight of David's songwriting and his rich, expressive voice. We're very glad to welcome David Dickinson to the Fire Pit. How's it going, Dave?
Going well, thank you.
So glad you could be with us this evening. We'd like to talk about the new album a bit. Let's start with the title, Disorganized Attachment Styles. My wife is actually a therapist. I'm very familiar with a lot of the phraseology that kind of pervades this album and is showcased in this title. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what is an attachment style and what would a disorganized attachment style be, and how does that relate to the wonderful music that we're about to hear?
Okay, that's putting me on the spot a little bit. So I spent a good amount of time locked in my house doing. I was doing therapy 5 days a week and not really talking to people. And I spent a lot of time scrolling on Instagram and looking at therapists like you do. Eventually, I never used Instagram before that. And so that became my social media of choice because there wasn't anybody on it that knew that I was there. So I felt like I was just kind of hiding. And I eventually ended up with a feed entirely based on therapists. It was just therapy after therapy after therapy. The first couple things that I saw about attachment styles, I thought they were silly. They you've got anxious attachment, and then you've got avoidant attachment. Thank you.
That's me. You know, I know. Go for it, Dave.
And so I thought that was silly because everybody has both of them, right? And then I saw some post that was like, and then there's the little talked about most difficult attachment style, which is where you actually exhibit both of these things at the same time and you bounce back and forth between them. I was like, oh, that's not everybody. That's just me. Disorganized attachment styles. Figuring out, when you're drawn to things, you weren't thinking about why you're drawn to them. You just think that you're drawn to them and you want them, right? Realizing and that, I don't know, we're just all a bundle of chemicals. Figuring all of that out and what you actually want behind them, and healing them is a long, painful process.
Absolutely. So you kind of locked yourself in a room for an extended period of time, and you kind of rediscovered your songwriting in some way, and used it as an opportunity to express a lot of what you're going through with the breakup of your marriage and with your personal work. It's really such a rich and interesting confessional, and you do it so well. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about your process? Do you write a lyric first, or does the music come first, or do they both come together? How do things work for you?
That's a really interesting question. It's a little bit of both. And the I've bounced back and forth between lyrics first or music first. But the truth is that whichever one sparks you start with one, and then it inspires something else. So you start with some music and it inspires like a lyric. If you write those lyrics entirely to the music that you started with, then you end up forcing some stuff. And so if you're doing it right, then if I'm doing it in the way that turns out best for me, usually what you end up with is something completely different than either. And so it's a marriage of both things. And it almost doesn't matter which one starts first. That has been historically true. I think this album, I stopped trying on the music. Honestly, I wrote lyrics. I writing I wrote lyrics first on this entire album. Didn't try too hard with the music. I just let it happen. And honestly, I like it a lot. And maybe if I relaxed more, I'd end up with.
I like it a lot too. Why don't we talk a little bit about the first track we're going to listen to? It's called Oxygen, and it has kind of a cool, almost a jazz vibe with some really wistful keys. And, the lyrics are like nothing left to give, flailing, drowning, trying just to live. Really kind of embodies everything that you were going through at that time. Talk to us a little bit about the song, what was going on, how it came about, and the production, who plays on it. Tell us a little bit about that too.
It ended up being a concept album on codependency. I didn't intend for that to happen. It just kind of happened. That's really what I was working through. This song was the first thing that I'd written in 3 years, almost exactly. It was written mostly in my head, on like 3-hour walks alone with my dogs in the woods. I'd been arguing basically with therapists about what we can expect from other people, and what should be expected of me, and how those relationships were supposed to work. I was really, really angry, and I'd really been arguing with them. I didn't let go easily. And so I was trying to have something to say, and it took me about 6 weeks of intentionally like trying to put some thought together, until I knew I could sit down and write it. So I did. The production, Matt Sigler played keys, Jeremy Popeye on drums. I did the rest of it. Drum beat, the like policey reggae feel is my producer, Lauren Dimichet. She was like, what if we did it like this? And that was surprising. And I liked it.
One of the things that I really appreciate about it is that the song breathes. There are moments when stops, takes a breath, and it goes perfectly with the concept of oxygen. The song lives and breathes itself, which I'm sure our listeners will hear. Why don't we take a listen, Megan?
I think that is an incredible idea. I know I fell in love with this song, and I know that each and every one of you is going to do the same. So without further ado, let's take a listen to Oxygen.
She said, put your own mask on when they fall, 'cause the plane is going down. I guess the speaker's only then. wish you could be of aid. But it seemed a little heartless, and the real world never says exactly when you're going to run out of oxygen. So could you put a mask on me? 'Cause I can't see and I'm running out of air. I guess I should have done this first, but I swear I didn't know. I've been taking care of those around me, and I'm sorry, I've just nothing left to give. I've been flailing, drowning, trying just to live. I will never make another promise till I die, 'cause the first one's almost killed me in the end. Don't talk to me of futures like they're written in the skies. Oh, I never could have known who we'd be then. He said keep your hands open, it's only then that you're ready to receive. If a man has two shirts when another has a need, but that system only works if other people are all playing the same game. Most people only ever give or take. So could you put your hands on me? 'Cause I'm empty, I've been ready to receive. Hold me for a little while, tell me it'll be okay. I know I was acting angry, maybe crazy, I had nothing left to trade. I didn't know I need all of that grace. I will never make another promise till I die. Well, the first one's almost killed me in the end. Don't talk to me of futures like they're written in the sky. I never could have known what you need then. I owe you all an apology. Hope you'll see that I'm trying to make amends. I did a lot of damage when my heart burned to the ground. But that doesn't mean I'll trust you, 'cause I can't trust me yet to know exactly when I'm going to run out of oxygen. I will never make another promise till I die. Well, the first one's almost killed me in the end. But you could join me in the future if you're comfortable with trying, being the only thing I'll ever do again.
Well, folks, that was Oxygen. You are hanging out with us here on the Fire Pit. We're listening to good music, talking to David, and I'm going to throw things over to Mr. Jim Skiff because he is the man with the plan and the interviewer on stand, I guess. I was trying to be coy. Jim, let's get more questions out.
Well, thanks for your vote of confidence, Megan. I'll do my best to fulfill it. And I'm interested, David. Your lyrics are so personal and introspective and compelling. I wonder, is it hard for you to listen to the finished recording and look at all those raw feelings? You know, a lot of guys are, it's hard for us to discuss our feelings and what we're going through. And, you know, you're really bearing your soul in a lot of these songs. How is it for you to listen to them on the playback?
I've always written pretty confessional songs. I think I have difficulty feeling seen. It's the one opportunity that I have to actually tell the story that I want to tell without it being interrupted or misinterpreted or having to carry other people around in the conversation, make sure that everybody else is okay. This album was written all by myself in my house for the most part. My marriage was over, and I really, my community was over. I had, you know, maybe I had 3 or 4 people who were reaching out to me like once a week. There was freedom in that, and there was no need anymore for me to hedge around the things that I was thinking or feeling, or the way my own experience. There wasn't any reason for me to kind of water it down for other people around me. So no, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. It feels liberating
and cathartic, probably. I know myself, there's times when I write a song and it's so personal, the tears just run down my face. I can't sing it. Yeah, I can't get through it.
Experience.
And I have to go through it time and time and time again to get myself used to it, so that I can even consider performing it for other people, because it's such a personal expression of who we are. And
I guess if that's what you're talking about, then yes, I definitely experienced that. I wouldn't have called that hard, right? I would have called that good, right?
Right.
But it is difficult to do, I guess.
And I also wondered, I noticed the photograph on your cover art is just a beautiful winter shot. Did you take that photo? Is that your dog that is mentioned in the course of the album?
And unfortunately, David? I didn't get a shot of the completely I tried to cover up some of the footprints in that photo. And if I knew anything about like photo doctoring or anything, then I probably would have. But the moment that I was writing about was that same spot, but just no one had walked it yet. And so it was just completely just unsullied, uninterrupted, just a blanket of white that we were walking through. Yeah.
It's a beautiful shot. Is that near your home? Is that somewhere that you frequent?
There's a county park right across the street from my house, down a little ways. So I was walking there every day.
And that's your Labradoodle. What's their name, if I might ask?
There's 2 of them. So that's Clara and Toby. Thank you.
Beautiful dogs. I know myself. I miss my dog Max. I used to walk with him every morning, and I get up and I think, how in the hell am I going to get through this day with everything I have to do, everything I have to deal with? I go out with Max. You know, we go out for 20 minutes, half hour. By the time we were like halfway around, things would start to click. By the time I got home, it would be all laid out for me. It was like a meditation with my dog. And I'm almost tempted to go out in the morning now and take that walk just to help get the clarity. Do you find that helps you as well?
I spent most of the pandemic incapable of functioning without Clara with me. And afterwards, that didn't just go away. She was in my truck with me all the time. I brought her on job sites. She would just follow me around and lie down on the ground while I was working. I wouldn't go to restaurants if I couldn't bring her in with me. I wouldn't go to shows if I couldn't bring her with me. I went to a lot of outdoor shows. I just couldn't. I couldn't function at all without that dog.
So she's really your probably a registered therapy dog, or she should be.
Yes, exactly.
Talk to us a little bit about your musical influences. Who do you listen to when you're not listening to your own music? And where tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into songwriting, who moves you, who influences you, and where you're coming from. Oh yeah, I can hear it in soul music, especially when you really start to take off and go up into your upper range. It's like a Paul Simon move from America. You know, it's classic, it's soul wrenching, it's really powerful, and I can definitely hear it. The next song that we're going to listen to is called Flat Tire, which is another one of your patented, really conversational narratives that draws the listener in a very relatable way. And you also get a little bit of the psycho terms in there talking about your inner child. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this song and kind of set it up for our listeners, Dave?
Well, okay, so at this point, I'd been through enough therapy. I kind of had a handle on what was going on with me. I had started talking to people. I had started dating a little bit. Just because you know something is going on the inside of you, at like what it is that you're actually responding to that isn't probably the thing that's in front of you. That doesn't mean that the feeling of it goes away. And so Flat Tire, even as I was writing it, was a little bit of a humorous take on my own internal reactions, and kind of inability to reach out and connect and ask for help and etc. Even while I knew what was going on, right? Or meeting this girl that was interested in, and then as soon as she wasn't interested, I was interested, and just laughing at myself about that a little bit. And it seems to be, yeah, I didn't even, I write a lot, and I didn't think that was, I write lyrics a lot. I write, things that I hesitate to call poetry, but they're just like things. And some of those become songs and some of those don't. And I didn't think that was a thing that was going to become a song. And then I was like, what if it were a song? What would it look like? And it's got no chorus. It's got no musical movement, really. It's just the same four chords over and over again, basically. And it's kind of free thought. Uh, and that is the only take I've ever done of it. I sent it to Lauren as a demo of the song. Like, this is what I did in my little studio, and she cleaned it up quite a bit, and we did some stuff with it. But those takes are the only takes that were ever taken, as I was just kind of wondering whether it was a song. And it seems to be the song that people respond to the most. It's kind of fun.
Well, I think it's totally relatable. You have a breakup and you just don't even know who to call. Where do you go for help? And I really like your insights into that type of person, someone who's always taking care of everyone else, always putting everybody else first. And suddenly you need help. Yeah, who do you call? Who do you contact? Where do you turn? And I think people can really, really relate to what you're feeling here. And it's just presented in such an interesting and humorous way. There's a tire on your driveway, but it's not doing anybody any good. It's totally relatable. I've been there. Thank God I have AAA. Right.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I would recommend that for you, David.
I did. Well, so the thing was, when I said I paid for a tow, that meant I bought AAA because I had been putting off,
Oh yeah.
putting off making, the next year's payment. And okay, I guess that has to happen now. You are the person who is doing everything for everybody else, maybe. That's because you at least see yourself that way, and you probably are. But you're making trades that other people haven't agreed to, right? So in your head, you're being really helpful and there for somebody, assuming that they're going to be there when you need them to be, but they never agreed to that trade. And so you end up feeling inevitably let down by all the people around you because you've held up your end of this bargain that you made in your head. And other people haven't met you there because it never came out of your mouth, and it never, right? It's never something, a trade that they agreed to. And maybe some of those things that you did for other people are not things that they would have asked you to do if they had known that you didn't really want to do them, and you were trading for future things, right? And we're also upset that other people aren't taking care of us in ways that really we just needed the permission to do those things for ourselves. And so we're not doing things for ourselves. We're expecting other people to do them for us. Those aren't things that other people can do, whether they want to or not. Yes, there's an element of self-awareness coming in through that song, I hope, that is, this is how I felt about the thing. And also, I'm ridiculous.
I think we should give it a listen. What do you think, Megan?
I love ridiculous. Did you know that's my middle name? All right, folks, let's give it a spin.
Got a flat tire on the highway, and I had no one to call. Had a spare one on my driveway, good to nobody at all. But I couldn't bear to ask you, would you spend an hour in your car to bring it to me? So I paid to get a tow. Met a lady at a meeting. It was clear that she was into me, which made me feel like I should run away. I persisted through my panic that I hadn't really earned this, but it wasn't until she ghosted that I wanted her to stay. I have learned that codependence comes from childhood abandonment, taking care of others first so you can then be seen. And I've done some inner child work to learn to love and put me first, but I'm sitting on the highway with my child in the rain. In 1997, all my friends would get together every weekend for a fire, drink tea and sing and pray. 10 years later, with 3 children, my wife was always in the hospital. I'd call every single contact, couldn't help but said they'd pray. But maybe they just didn't realize that I'd never ask for aid unless I had no other options. Exhausted every other way, and love isn't a transaction, and I wanted to give freely, but I can't take more rejection, so I'm stranded in the rain. Met a lady at an art show. I was hiding in my hoodie. I was surprised that she could see me. She felt safe and she was kind, but she didn't really need me. And life got a little messy when I asked if she could meet me. She really didn't have the time. I'm trying to give only if I've decided that I want to, and to take whatever's given without wishing it were more. And I'll do some inner child work to believe that I am valuable, but none of that will bring me a spare tire in a storm. So if I called you in the evening to say, would you take a walk with me? You said that you were busy, and I said that that was fine. But I'm hurting, 'cause I'm lonely. It's not your responsibility. But I probably can't risk asking for a walk a second time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got to hear Flat Tire hanging out with us here on the Fire Pit before we walk you on out the door and on your way to Scarpace's for another amazing open mic night. David, I would love to give you a moment to promote all things upcoming, new releases, upcoming shows, any shout outs, things you want to complain about. This is like the one time in the show where you just like let it all go and you tell us everything we need to know.
So this album has been pretty much ready to go since and we're in May, and I got a slot due to a cancellation at Millville Music Festival, putting off doing the things that you would do to promote an album and all the things you're supposed to do, and maybe you do a single and then you follow that up with another one, and you hit your social media really hard. I just couldn't do any of it. And then the festival was coming up and I had a slot, and I just kind of dropped it silently. And I've got a house show that's coming up that I don't have a date for. And I have one of my first social media posts at all, right before the festival, because I have to. And I'm really trying to figure out, it feels really, really dangerous. Asking for attention. It feels presumptuous, and I don't know how to do it. And if I do it online, then I can't manage people's emotions about the thing, and I shouldn't be doing that anyways, and I'm really struggling with it. So I don't have anything to promote. I play 4 or 5 open mics a week. I'm always doing music, and I am still in some pretty intense therapy. Figure out how to move forward and push even enough to schedule gigs and ask for people's attention. That's me. Is that me letting it all out? Is that talking about all the things? All the things are I am working on figuring out how to make these tiny little baby steps of getting people to hear what it is that I've been doing.
Righteous. Well, that sounds exciting, and I'm sure we'll cross paths again, and I'm excited for when that time comes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in for Fire Pit, and thank you for tuning in for all things Scarfire Media. Make sure you're checking out the podcast network. Check out the Indie Musicians catalog. Check out Find a Venue, the photography services, DJ services. There's so much that I could go on and on and on about. Simply visit us by going to scarfireradio.net. You've already found us on your favorite streaming platforms or on your YouTube, so just spread the love, spread the word, and make sure you're getting your friends, your family, and the Milkman's music out there, because we all deserve that 15 minutes of fame. In the meantime, between time, as I walk you on out the door and on your way to Scarpace's, we're going to take a listen to soul music. So in the meantime, between time, stay healthy, stay happy, stay safe, and until next week, because we are back, baby. Peace and love. I'll see you then.
Winter crunches underneath my feet. In the stillness of the morning, and no one else has walked this trail, it seems. Wrapped against the cold in a joy of my own knitting. all I feel is joy. My dogs seem to agree with me. Well, I will miss this. The winter I got sober. So much time entirely alone. And if you pressed me, I couldn't say I didn't miss her. But I'm so glad she's never coming home. 'Cause I found music in my soul. My axe slips inside my mittened hands. As I try to feed my wood stove. And sometimes I'd say fuck the whole damn thing. Stay underneath the covers, but for just my nose. Me and my labradoodle spoons, together we would doze. Let the well stay frozen. I will miss this. The winter I got sober, fighting demons all alone. Therapists and books, 'cause I could not pay for cable. Dr. Lindsay Gibson brought me home. She showed me music in my soul. In the springtime I fought hard to venture out. Tried to enter conversations. Codependence leaves a terror as its mark. Hidden cost of overcompensation. But Amy wrapped me in a hug that tasted free. Gently asked how I was doing. And if that is all you have to offer me, and this moment, this is everything. To me. Oh, I will miss this. The sober, cold and frightened and alone. I needed peace in a cup that's overflowing. I found music in my soul. Soul music, music in my soul. Soul music.